Good morning, 9:09 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Sunday, January 15th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. Before we get started, I would like to apologize. Not for anything I've said, but for bringing something into the foresight of a lot of people. For bringing leverage trading in the past to the group. The more I thought about it, and the reason why I don't promote it anymore, and I haven't for some time, is because it's more like a gambling or a casino. And anybody who struggles with maybe that itch to gamble, the leverage trading can get people in a lot of trouble. And for the record, for anybody who's in the Telegram, that is officially why I created a long time ago the Futures Leverage Trading Group separate from the main Telegram. Because I realized after a while that it could be an issue for somebody who struggles with gambling, because it's just like a casino, because it's that allure of taking out a leverage trade. That's why I don't promote it anymore, and that's why I don't talk about it in my updates anymore, because I believe I made a huge mistake, because I'm not a big leverage trader. I barely leverage trade, but I opened it up for everybody, and I believe that was a huge mistake, and I apologize to everybody for that. That's why I've been promoting the spot trading, and if you want to spot trade with me, you can do that through BITGET, but I'm not going to continue to talk about that unless it's relevant. I'm also not going to rant over the information I want to give out. I gave out what I wanted to about my heart and soul yesterday and a couple days in a row, but now it's back to business. So, once again, I apologize for bringing the leverage trading to some of you, all of you, because I understand that it's a casino-like atmosphere, and that can lead to unwanted intentions in somebody who doesn't have the mindset, and for that I apologize. So, moving on, XRP currently sits at 0.3829, down 3.14%. So, if we look deeper into the XRP chart, you can see we've started, and I talked about yesterday the problem we were having. I set up these layers. I can't be any clearer, because I want everybody to see, even if I'm not saying anything. All you have to do is look at the chart. This is a blueprint of what's to come. So we talked about the M topping reversal. We talked about if it lost this first uptrend that's not over yet, but 385, lost that. Now you would come down to your next immediate target at the 38 cent. You lose that, you come back down to the symmetrical triangle, which was support, or resistance. Now you're going to try to use it as support, just like you did here before the breakout. So it looks like to me we're more than likely going to lose 38 cents. We're going to complete this bearish divergence, but first you have to lose the 38 cents on the 200-day to confirm this bearish reversal. We have not quite done it yet in the 30-minute time frame. This could just be a liquidity pull so we can get more volume, get more people behind us, and then push up. But like I said, when we were at about 40 cents, almost 41 cents, and then when we were about to break back under, so the biggest problem for me is I feel like a lot of people are going to go get hammered here. They're going to get in. There's a lot of hopium. There's a lot of talk on YouTube about how the bottom's in, about how the bull market started. Yet there's no talk about how this is just a typical retracement on a bear flag that breaks out, but not up. It just reconsolidates. It hasn't even done much. And if we take it out into the bigger time frames, the bottom line here is, folks, we've been fleeced, heisted, and shisted, just like Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing says. So go watch him on YouTube. Links in my video description. Old Vincenzo. He's very dedicated, and he understands the charts. As you can see right here, this looks like a rising channel could be forming. That is a bearish reversal at the top. You can see the cup and handle right here, so you'd want to hold. And that's why I put down here. You want to hold the symmetrical support. If you lose that, you're coming back down all the way here at minimum to the 358 level, which would be the 355 extension down. And then after that, if you broke back into here, then obviously we'd have to retest the 335 area on this uptrend. So it's a very tricky morning, but I've already laid it tailor-made out for you last night. The initial uptrend to keep the bullish thesis going, the parabolic pump up, hold that uptrend. I call it the parabolic uptrend. Then you've got the pattern uptrend that was formed that we're hitting right now, And then if you break that, then you go back down to the symmetrical support at 372, 371 on the overextension. Or if you were going to the top side, it's 371 and 372 on the overextension on resistance. So that's my plus minus. And then ultimately, if we never break 287, we can continue to push up and out. 287 is that key point. That's why I had it down. We had to break here. And then once we broke the 346, we would have had to break 287. That's why I kept saying that. Unfortunately, we bought back up. We took the painful route, and now we're sitting up here at about 38 cents, 382. But I'm going to continue to tell you, and I'm going to continue to tell everybody, under 40 cents, if you want to buy XRP, is a good buy. We're not at $1.66. We're not even at 50 cents. There is a reason why back in June of 2022, I said, no, June of 2021, crazy it's been that long now, I said sub 40 cents is a good buy. It wasn't even close to sub 40 cents. We're sitting at $1.66 when I said that, $1.70. So you've got to take it for what it's worth. In the 4 hour, you can see we're on the bottom side of the 20-day. And if we lose this uptrend, the current uptrend, that's when we lose this 20-day support in the 4 hour. And that's when it gets ugly. Because then the next support will drop us down. But you can see in the 4 hourly, it's hard to tell if we're done. We haven't had the expansion, but this could be filled out in the next 2 4 hour candles. And then all of a sudden the 100 would move through the 200 and then it would be lined up. We just haven't had the last 2 hours and 17 minutes. So be very careful here when you're just looking at these two lines right here. If you're going on the exponential moving averages, you can see here it's already clearing up. In the 2 hour, it should be fully complete. The setup, yep. We're down below, and now the 2 hour time frame, if we lose this 38 cents, is showing you the 2 hour is starting to reverse now. And once we get down to the 371 symmetrical support, then you would have a 20 possibly crossing the 50, or it would already be starting to cross, and you will be able to see the very bearish thesis. Like I said, these updates are going to be jam-packed, less ranting. There will be rants at times, but you know, the epiphany, there's got to be an equal balance. I can't just be all rant and no info, or all info and no rant. So I need you guys to come in here, and within 45 seconds, you're getting the details instead of waiting 10 minutes. Because if it was me, I'd be like, this guy's a fucking asshole. I don't want to hear about his problems all day. But I can respect it. I'll listen to it every now and then. So I appreciate each and every one of you. We got 140 likes on yesterday's video from last night. So I can't even thank you enough. The likes mean more to me than the views. They always have. They always will. I could get 10,000 views, but if I'm only getting 50 likes, I'm going to be very hurt. Because then I know I'm not doing something right. So, hurt by myself, because it means I'm not putting in the proper material. So, this is what we're looking at with XRP. So just pay very close attention with XRP's price action. And I will continue to keep you updated as the day evolves. I got to leave in about an hour and a half. I'm going to my 11-year-old nephew's football game. He plays flag football. It's his first game. And I'm going to make a dedicated effort to go to every single game this year. He's like a son to me. And, you know, it's going to be something spectacular. So that's what I'm going to be doing in a little bit. But as always, I need to come here every morning when I first get up. And I have to keep everybody informed. Bitcoin, it's just my passion, ladies and gentlemen. You are my passion. So no matter what's going on in my life, I look forward to bringing you all this information. Bitcoin, still consolidating sideways. We haven't really done much, but what you can see is we are actively starting to lose this formation. And this wick right here is not a good sign. Technically, or typically, when you have wicks like that expand and then quickly get shot back down, that's a breakout and breakdown of the pattern formation. You've seen it one time happen up here. It had a breakdown or breakout down, and then it's been consolidating, came up, couldn't pass that breakout area. Now you're having these wicks up that are suggesting the pattern's about to reverse back down. It's not guaranteed because we haven't technically lost the 20-day and started reversing back down. You'll know more if we come down to 20,300 and then ultimately... Here, I'll just draw this out for everybody. I don't really want to go too much into Bitcoin because I think a lot of this, it's fool's gold. But we'll see. We'll see. So our main objective here, if we're just being honest about it, we're trying to hold this parabolic uptrend. You don't want to lose the 20,000. We'll just say, yeah, the 20,000 mark. So we're looking to hold the 20,000. And then ultimately we can define this pattern a little more. We came up to the 20,955 resistance, which is right there on the paper. It's not anything abnormal. And then underneath is the 20,116. Pretty incredible that those are the two areas we're going to play right now. So that's what we're looking at. And right now it looks like a bear flag, but we're going to have to see. I mean, a bull flag, but this all feels like a giant trap. I would love to say it can break out for some of you guys that are holding and that are in a position. But, I mean, you're going to know a lot if we hold the 20,000 uptrend that I drew, the 20,429 or the 20,119. There's three in the area. Around 20K, 20,119 and 20,429. If it holds those levels, there is a possibility we can come up to 23K, and we talked about this. I think it's a little higher, 23,400. So that's what we're looking at over the top. And the crazy thing is that's just the downtrending resistance line. That's just, it's gone back from so far now that it's going to come into play, and we haven't even had a play on it yet. I mean, look how far back that line is coming from. If you actually look at this, because my charts are weird compared to everybody else's. It's just they are. But they work for me. And that's off a little bit because it's in the daily. If you take it down in the smaller time frames, it'll bring it down. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. So that's what we're coming up to, is that downtrending resistance that I've had targeted all the way from the top move. So to me, that's a big area as well, because if you could break back over that resistance, and we're still a lengthy ways away, maybe you could push up to this formation at 26,600 and ultimately break the 28,000 level, I should say. And then if we broke the 28,000 level, then you're on top of a very key level. So we're going to see how this plays out. But right now, man, it feels like a lot of traps are being set. I am very uneasy right now in the market. XLM. I mean, it held this support over here. This was the support we talked about when I was out in Florida, that if we held the 7.5, then we could possibly push up to that 9.9. And we talked about how there was one stop in between. And so far, we've cleared it. But we've got to get past this little hurdle here of the 9.1. And then maybe you can get to the 9.9. Right now, so far, we haven't been able to break it. And right now, your resistance right now is 9.9. And your support is right around 8.3. So your trading zone right now is between 8.3 support and 9.9 resistance. So, 8.3 support and 9.2 resistance. Sorry. So that's what you're trading with XLM right now. And if you can break through that, well, then obviously 9.9 is the next level. And then DGB continues to pay me. I have 42,222 shares at 0.06 and some change. And I talked about how I was never going to sell it, but if it came lower, I'd buy more. I only had 10,000 shares of DGB when I was at 5 cents, and I sold it at just over 16.2. So $500 turned into just over 1,600. But right now I have 42,222 shares, and it cost me a few $100 to put it in perspective. I got 5.2 times more, and it cost me $300 less approximately, $250 less than the initial 500 investment. And now I've wrote it back up to almost a penny. It's up better than 35-40% right now. So, it's perspective. This one came down to where I needed it to. XRP didn't. So did ZIL. But we're not getting into ZIL today. We'll get into ZIL in the later update. But this is about a flow, a general flow. Right now, DGB had a bullish cross in the 1 day, the daily. We have not broke out past the 200 day, and that's why the 0.109 is going to be very critical right now. Unless you break out of that and ultimately over the top of 118, this pattern is still within this channel that I created. Or you can say it's an ascending triangle that will finish up here around the 1-2 level, and I can't disagree. So right now you're looking at resistance at the 0.01 level, followed by 0.017, and the ultimate area resistance is 0.118. Underneath, if we break down our first level of support, I'll break this into a smaller chart so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about. We'll just overextend this. That's what you want to hold. So basically you're tight right now. You've got this uptrending support for DGB at 0096 to hold this formation, or to break out and push up a little bit more, you have to break 0.10. So 1 cent is your resistance, 0.0096 is your support. That's only 0.4 of a penny of separation. So make sure you pay attention and you understand. If you want to join Tom's Army, it's more important now than ever. You can get in. And I'm not promoting Tom's Army because that's the only thing you have to do. I won't talk about it in the beginning of videos. I like to do it at the end because if you're not here at the end, obviously you don't even care about Tom's Army, or you might not be interested is what I'm trying to say. Because even if you're not in Tom's Army, it doesn't mean you're not in the Army. You don't have to pay to be in the Army. There are many people that have not paid a single dime, but they've lent their time, their knowledge in the comments, and they've worked their way into the Telegram without ever paying me a dime. And in my eyes, part of the Army, and will still be part of all of this. With the spot trading, when I start doing it for the whole group, you'll be part of it. It's just that simple. So right now, MEXC, you can buy XRP, no spot fees, no VPN, no KYC needed, up to 200x leverage on all of your leverage trading, which to me, forget the leverage trading. That's just a perk, but that's like the casino. It's on there because it's available on the exchange, but the spot fees is what you really need to be paying attention to when you spot trade. Forget leverage trading. 9 times out of 10, people get hammered. They only share their gains. You'll never see them share a single screenshot of their losses, but I can guarantee you on 3 out of 10 trades, they're losing at worst. I mean, at best. They're hitting 70%. Now, if they're balancing the 70% with balance and checks, they're good. But no leverage trader can go 100%, 90%, 80%. You're lucky to hit 70. I'd say you're more than likely to hit about 60, 65. But it's all about the balance and checks and the grand, the grand accumulation of what you're doing. BITGET, you can trade XRP with no spot fees as well. No VPN needed for new users in USA. Old users can trade without VPN. But now BITGET prohibits new users because of regulations from the USA, but other countries you can still join up. You can always use a VPN, but I don't advise it. And if you're on BitGet, I'll be laying out my spot trading. As I no longer futures trade, I won't do it. Even in my personal time, I don't advise it. If you want a futures trade, that's all right. But I suggest spot trading. We tried the futures and I seen too many people got hurt. Too many people couldn't control their gambling urges, which there's nothing wrong with that or their itch. Because let's face it, the leverage trading is like a casino. And for that, I apologize for bringing it into your sphere. And we're going to focus on the spot trading because that's how I started the station. And that's why I went away from the futures. It's on you to do it yourself. I started a futures leverage trading Telegram that is included with all the other stuff. I just did it for anybody who's like-minded and wants to do the futures. But let me assure you, it is very, very risky. And 90% of the people trading leverage will never tell you their true losses. You'll just notice they'll stop leverage trading for a while. That's because they ran out of funds, let's face it. And then UPHOLD is my most trusted. The spot fees are high, so I advise you to use BitGet or MEXC so that you can send it over to UPHOLD. And the cool thing about BitGet is I'll be rolling it out for members of Tom's Army and then some that aren't. So it's not just about being in Tom's Army. It's about being a dedicated part of my audience. If you're dedicated to me, and if that doesn't mean by finances, if I know you're dedicated to this channel, you'll be able to follow my spot trades when I start spot trading again with XRP and my crypto. And when I start adding to ones I already have, in particular, you already know about DGB and ZIL. And I have only 222 shares of Algo that I bought at about just under 17 cents. So not as much as I should have, but I still feel like we're not at the lows yet. So in the future, when I start buying my stuff, you'll be able to spot trade me. It's not just XRP. It's anything I buy on BitGet. So that's up to you. You can find me on BitGet right now by clicking on the link and going to find me in spot trading. But it's not going to do you any good because I'm going to share it all when it's ready. And if you're part of Tom's Army, you'll be the first to know. And I'll be doing daily updates on the YouTube side of it as well, where I can send it out to just members of Tom's Army. So you'll stay updated with the flow. If you're not on BitGet, but you still want to see my trades, I implore you, when I do start spot trading, join me on BitGet. If you can't, join Tom's Army, because then you'll be in the Telegram and people will bust my balls or give me praise based on what happens with the spot trades. So you'll be up to the minute, up to the date. So I appreciate everybody for listening. This is the direction I want to go. Jam-packed information in the beginning. Towards the end, then I can start talking and ranting. Hashtag the FUD stops here. And ladies and gentlemen, I promise you, I will continue to do this for all eternity, all times, while I still breathe. And we're going to continue to do this until we get it right as a whole. The only way we can get it right is if we do this together and not as individuals. Hashtag be better, do better. Oh, and one more thing. I want to show something that UB2B is working on. He's our meme genius. And he's working on, and I know he's just working on it, so I hope you don't, I'm sorry UB if you get pissed, but I really like showing you stuff. You've been such an influential part of my show. And he's starting to make stuff. And I'm going to share it for everybody because, like I said, this is about the community. This is about the greater good. And I have a platform. And I would like to show some support to UB2B for doing all this work for me. This is his own personal project. But we're going to help support him when he gets through it. I'll keep everybody updated. As you can see, he's got the only strength. UB2B, no fear, no uncertainty, no doubt. Some fantastic artwork. His cloud art, like I always talk about. And then he's got this beautiful message this morning for us. Purge your uncertainty. See through your fears, abandon your doubts, become a FUD assassin, UB2B. Stay tuned for future details about UB2B with shirts, hats, and God only knows what else he can come up with because he is one talented mind, a great artist. The only thing he's lacking is the right pair of eyes to see what he does. So I implore you, join UB2B on YouTube, join him on TikTok, and you can find it in my video description below how to find them. Stay blessed, everybody.